Could be called sanctity of life, or it could also be called child sacrifice. All right? And there is a warning here. There are going to be some gory details that will come out. And if there is any kid sitting with you and if you feel this may be a little bit too much for them, feel free to take them out for some small time, then it should be all right. On the other hand, I feel it's good for the kids to be there so that they are prepared when their hour of decision comes from this issue of child sacrifice. During the times of kings, the people of Israel, including kings, began worshipping other gods. And the names of those gods are Baal, Ashtoreth, Tammuz, Molech. During the worship of these gods, they were basically related to the harvest and they were related to fertility. And if you look into the Bible, you will find that King Ahaz, a Jewish king, supposedly belonging to Jehovah God, he sacrificed his own kid onto this god Molech. Not only him, but King Manasseh sacrificed his firstborn child. And you have King Solomon, who built the temple to Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. And that happened because King Solomon married so many women. Some of his wives were Ammonites, and to appease them, he built their temple. And then he said he clung to his wife, and those wives led him to the worship of these gods. So he started as a very good believer, so good a believer that when he was a teenager king, God appeared to him in the night and asked him for some blessing. And even in his dream, he was so clear, saying, I'm just a teenager, I'm just too young to lead this lovely people of yours. I don't have wisdom. Will you give me wisdom? Will you give me discernment? Will you give me a listening ear? And God was so pleased that even in his dreams, he had pure dreams, that God said, I'll give you wisdom, but also give you prosperity and riches, such that nobody else had such riches before you or anybody after you. So pure was he in his 20s, but now, as he's growing old, his wives have led him astray. So it's a monitor, true or false, is there in your notes as well. Is it true life begins at conception? True or false? Maybe you want to write down T or F in your notes. Life begins at conception. Or true or false? Life begins at birth. T or F? Life begins somewhere in between conception and birth. True or false? Fourthly, miscarriage and abortion is the same thing. True or false? An adult woman is more important and valuable than an unborn child. True or false? True or false? Continued, abortion is a personal decision, one to be decided between a woman and her doctor. True or false? Abortion is necessary to control the population. Especially we in our land are already crossing 1.4 billion, and therefore we need some population control means, so abortion is good to have it. True or false? Legalizing abortion reduces the number of illegal abortions. Legalizing abortion reduces the number of illegal abortions. Abortion is humane and civilized. That child sacrifice, we thought that is inhumane and gruesome, but abortion is humane and civilized. True or false? During abortion, the baby does not feel the pain. True or false? Abortion has no harmful effects on the mother. True or false? Abortion is a medical issue and not a spiritual issue. True or false? What does the Bible say about the unborn child? First of all, conception is God's gift. Conception is God's gift. All right? And it says in Genesis 19, 8, Genesis 18, 9 to 15, God tells Abraham that Sarah will have a son. Genesis 29, the Lord causes Leah to conceive and bear 4 sons. It is God is blessing Abraham, who at a very old age is about to give birth, and so also God is giving birth. God is blessing Leah to be able to conceive and have birth. Psalm 127, 3 says, Lo, children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is His reward. And when we go for abortion, we are interfering with what He has given us. I do not know about the world outside, but those seated in this hall should never abort. Probably option 1, give birth and look after the baby yourself, or give birth and give the baby for adoption, or give birth to go to another city, give birth and then come back. Likewise, encourage others never to abort. If you have friends, inform your friends on a one-to-one basis. When you are having next coffee with a friend, open up the subject of abortion, and whatever you have learned, share about it with them. Give literature on one-to-one basis. Address the subject in groups and keep discussing. Especially take help of teachers and doctors. We discussed this. I was preaching like this in the church in Kunur, and there was a lady gynecologist, and she's a member of the church. And then after this whole thing was over, in a hospital, I've seen that board. In this hospital, we shall not perform any abortion. If you need, please go to some other hospital. And so she came under conviction, I shall not do that. Sometimes it's good for doctors to understand this conviction. That makes it